Okay. I'm gonna just come out here and say this right now. There's a lot of false information out there from people that were looking into my and Lawrence Counter situation, looking into a lot of the things I said. That was literally just, me undercover, me pretending to be somebody I wasn't to lure Connor into me being very, very close into this conflict with him. What you don't realize, okay? Lawrence Connor, yes, he is a radar operator, and for the Air Force and Navy, he always was. People that have made these posts that he's mentally ill, no, he is, but mentally ill people are not stupid of his kind. When you have a mental illness such as grandeur, and your mentality is that of a serial killer, from my former licensed psychiatrist perspective, I'm going to tell you how serial killers think. Serial killers have an ego. They have the biggest fucking ego. They can never in a million years, when they are in the wrong, ever admit it. And I don't know how many times I have admitted my wrongdoings. And when I was in the wrong on something, Connor, on the other hand, the man could never admit he's wrong. Ever, ever, ever. This is narcissism. Most of your serial killers, they're narcissistic. And the one thing narcissistic people do, they can never cut themselves down. And they're always, in a million years, going to cut everybody else down. And one of the things narcissistic people will always say when you are actually telling the fucking actual ways of it going, the actual truth behind things, their reply will always be, you have the right to be wrong. And this is a narcissistic defense mechanism. Trying to tell you you're wrong by telling you you have the right to be wrong. And if you have any common sense of any kind, and you are not narcissistic, there is no right to be wrong. There is only wrong, and there is right. Now, narcissistic people, they will deliberately, and I mean deliberately, cause problems in your life. Any which way they can. Any which way they can, however they can, whenever they can, wherever they can, will cause massive fucking problems. And when you start interacting with them for the problems they're causing, they blame you for it. They say, you're the problem. And really, you're not. They want people to believe that you're the problem. And they will go out of their way at any given time to try to prove in their fantasy world. Narcissistic people live in a fantasy world. They have no concept of actual reality. I mean, when you go and you deal with a narcissistic person and you go, hey, the sky is blue, they say green. No, it's green, it's orange, it's red. The grass is green today, really green today. No, it's aqua. It's maroon today. And there's grass. I'm literally saying it's kind of green today. It's maroon in their mind. They're going to disagree with you and say it's maroon. And when you tell them, no, it's green, they will look at you and immediately say, you have the right to be wrong. Their defense mechanism to deflect that they are in the wrong in any way. Okay? This is narcissistic behavior at the fullest. And they will go massive in a quest to destroy your name, reputation, their ego. They got an ego the size of fucking Alaska. And if you take a fucking state of Alaska and put it in the United States, it takes up the whole fucking, practically half the fucking United States. Alaska's a very big state. You put it in the actual mass of the actual country. Shit. Yeah. It literally took up like fucking the bottom of Michigan to the top of fucking Texas to like the east, the very verge of the west side of, shall you say, Alabama, and like the west side of fucking Nevada. Ego. Okay, that is pretty much Alaska right there if you took it from where it's at and you set it right in the middle of the main United States. It takes up literally half to maybe even 3/4 of the fucking state. And narcissistic people have that big of an ego. They have to be right. They will deflect in any way of ever admitting they're in the wrong. And one of their deflective mechanisms is to respond when you're actually speaking the truth, actually speaking real knowledge. You have the right to be wrong. I'm not going to say you have the right to be wrong. I'm just going to come out and say it. You're wrong. I'm not going to tell you you have the right to be wrong because you don't have the right to be wrong. You're either wrong or you're right. Get what I'm saying? Narcissistic people will never cut themselves down, ever. They will never, out of their way, say, I'm a fucking dumbass. And then look themselves in the mirror and say, Frank, you're a fucking jackass like I do. And I don't know how many times I fucking said it on video. No. I lost count. For a million years battling Lawrence Connor, he has never done it. He's never degraded himself. He has only degraded me, someone else, called them ninnies when they try to speak the actual reason to him. When people, I read a lot of comments of people interacting with him over, like, God knows 10 years. God knows 10 years. And I read a lot of these people's comments. You know, why don't you ignore him, they say to him. And Frank Jameson will go away and leave you alone. Why won't you just stop posting about him? Maybe he'll leave you alone. And he'll be like, you don't know the full, he goes into a depth, shall we say, defense of why he shouldn't ignore me. Why he shouldn't stop posting about me and just blow it off. The reason why he won't do that, because everything I said was the truth, and it's hurting his massive size fucking ego, the size of Alaska, that pretty much takes up like fucking half the fucking mainland of the United States. See, here's the thing with narcissistic people. When you're dealing with narcissism, when common sense tells you not to go and prove somebody wrong because you're actually committing wrongs, and when you go and prove them wrong, it makes you look guilty as fuck. Like, me going and robbing some old lady and kicking her and beating her with a walker, and she's sitting there and she's all fucked up, and now me being narcissistic, me being what Connor claimed, all right, you're going to question something, and you're going to fucking put it out there somehow, all right? You're going to put it out there somehow. And what you're putting out there, flat the fuck out, what you're putting out there is you're challenging my ego. You are fucking challenging my ego. And I am going to prove that my ego is right, I'm right, to defend my ego more than my freedom. And you just asked me a fucking question out the fucking blue. And I go out of my way knowing common sense tells me not to prove you wrong. Not to go and prove you wrong on what you just asked, because you will prove me guilty as fuck for beating that old lady. And instead of not proving you wrong, trying to prove you wrong, I go and try to prove you wrong. And when I go and try to prove you wrong, guess what I did? I done fucked up. I done fucked up because the simple fucking reason I done fucked up, in a fucking nutshell, is the fact when I went and proved you wrong, I looked guilty as fuck of what I actually did. And narcissistic people, their concept, and I mean seriously, their fucking concept of their ego, defending their ego is more important than anything else. They will defend that ego to the fullest, like straight up to the fullest, because that ego is more valuable to them than anything else. They will defend it because you heard it. You challenged them. See what I'm saying? So, to give an example, Lawrence Connor sat there, and I knew it was him posting. I knew it was him. The entire fucking time I knew it was him. Still posting. And he went and put out false information of a death certificate. He literally went that distance. That he went and put out there, what do you call it? Where there's a article in the newspaper of you're dying. He put that out on the internet. Fuck, he did it with me. Dude, he went and fucking made shit saying I died like July 24th of 2024. And to fuck. Like, wow. And yeah, I'm not dead. Like, he really wanted people to think I fucking killed myself. And I was not dead. I was using another account to post without him knowing I was still posting. I made it to where he couldn't see that account. And it's still there, believe it or not. Yeah, there's still a piece of fucking information on the internet that Lawrence Connor made saying I fucking killed myself July 24th, 2024. And I'm like, wow. And he never took it down. And when he realized I was dead, and he was actually fucking telling most of his people in his chat groups that I was dead, which was the funniest fucking thing. You know, it's just like, are you fucking kidding me? Dude, are you fucking kidding me? You actually went and made something saying I killed myself on the internet. And you're sitting here telling most of your supporters and followers it's over. Frank Jameson killed himself with your actual account. And you don't even know one of the fucking accounts that's reading your messages in that group chat was me. Because I went and hid it and went behind a fucking secret account. I literally stopped posting after July 24th of 24 for almost 3 weeks, okay? And he literally went and put out something on the internet that I killed myself. And it was there, 1 week after my birthday when I went silent on his ass for 3 weeks. And I'm sitting here with a fucking account that says chat room. He didn't even know That account was even mine, okay? And it's just like, are you fucking kidding me, dude? You're telling your supporters and followers in your chat group that I'm fucking dead. And this is where most of where he like deactivated that chat group. Because he went and blocked all those followers and supporters, you know. And a lot of them said, dude, he went and made like an obituary on you and put it on the internet. And dude, when he found out you were still alive, he like deactivated that whole chat group and blocked everybody in it. Holy fuck. Dude, what the fuck? You know? And I'm like, oh my, I'm just fucking awestruck at the stupidity here. Wow. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. Guys that want to live in their fantasy world and try to get people to come live in it with them. Here's the one thing about narcissistic people. When you don't coincide with their fantasy world living, you're the problem. You are the problem. You caused all the problems because you didn't coincide with their fantasy world. Okay? And they will go cause problems with you. And they will go cause a shit ton. They will be calling your family, your friends, your job, posting shit to your job, calling your employer, wanting to know if you fucking work there. And he did it with me, GEST Omelets. And you can look up Guest Omelets phone number. And you'll see that restaurant actually exists. And he literally was like posting on their fucking Instagram account, just like literally bad-mouthing me. Like, fuck. Dude, you're fucking contacting my employer's fucking Instagram. Oh my God, man. So, let's get down to the nitty-gritty about guys like that. Narcissistic people, this is what is considered a narcissistic apology. Narcissists, when you don't go inside with their fantasy world living, they will cause problems with you. They will go out of their way to cause problems in your life, people in your life. And, no, seriously, I'm going through the aftermath of dealing with him for 10 years. Because of his narcissistic mentality, it literally made it to where a lot of people that I love, and like my kids, you know, my son Jacob, he just couldn't take it. Me and him just like fucking had a falling out because it filled me up with negative energy. Like, fuck, why won't this guy leave me alone? Why won't this? And I'm fucking raging like a fucking raging Cajun. And my son, who having low level autism, Asperger's. And Asperger's, when you have a son that has autism, he don't know how to cope. Autism prevents you from being able to cope with stressful shit. Okay? And him seeing me just fucking fall apart, full of fucking rage, constantly fucking negative. He couldn't. He couldn't comprehend it. He couldn't I just said the fucking word. Damn. Yeah. He couldn't cope with it. He couldn't cope with all the negative energy, all the negativeness I was in here. I was full of negative energy, and he just couldn't cope with it. He couldn't be around it because autistic people are more prone to feed off of other people's energy. When the person they're with is in the high fucking note, they're feeling fucking great, that person that has autism is right there with you. When you're fucking right here at the bottom and the lowest of the low, that autism person in your life is right there with you. All right? And thanks to Connor, I was right fucking there at the lowest of the low. So my son Jacob, he couldn't cope with it. He couldn't cope with all the negative energy I was going through, so it kind of like literally drove a gigantic wedge in me and my son Jacob's life. And I loved Jacob. I mean, I loved Jacob. We had so much fun together when we got together. We were in a high. When I was in my high note, he was in his high note. And it was the fucking time of the life. We would sit there and we would have each other fucking laughing each other's ass off because I loved him and he loved me, you know. So me constantly being in the low end of my life, filled with nothing but negative energy, dealing with Connor, my son having autism, Asperger's, couldn't cope with it. So it's over wedge between me and him. And Connor drove wedges in my family and me. He literally drove a lot of members of my family I fucking loved. That, they were my fucking sanity. They were my shoulder to cry on. They were my fucking pillar. They were my moral fucking support. Now, when you're dealing with people with mental health disabilities, such as PTSD, like I got, memories of my service. The worst thing you could do to a person suffering from mental health disabilities is go through his entire Facebook friends list and tell all of his friends and family that they need to just stop talking to him because he's crazy, because he's this, that, and this, and take away their support, their moral support, their emotional support. Okay, when you take away your a person who's suffering from PTSD, schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, or any kind of mental health disorder, and you take away their emotional support, you have fucked up them ever being mentally healthy. Hoorah! Semper Fi! You took away their entire mental health of ever being mentally healthy. The minute you take away their moral support and tell these people that are their moral support, they're their foundation of being mentally healthy. Okay. That's the worst thing you can do with somebody dealing with mental health disabilities such as schizophrenia, PTSD, whatever, get their morals, their emotional support to just up and leave and not have anything to do with them. Yeah, you done fucked them up. You done fucked them ever being able to live a normal life. Literally, you done ever. They're never going to be able to get that normalcy back in their life because you just took away their emotional support. Now, I was a licensed psychiatrist up until 99. This is why I'm telling you this. Lawrence Connor was never a psychiatrist. Psychiatrists will not go call people that have mental health disabilities mentally defective. That is a not correct fucking terminology to mental health disabilities of any kind. That is discriminating. That is fucking straight up wrong, dude. That is just literally degrading, wrong, offensive, despicable. When you go out of your way to degrade somebody with mental health disabilities such as schizophrenia, suicidal thoughts and tendencies, and you literally take away their emotional support, all right? You put them out there in the world alone dealing with their mental health problems, you doomed them to perish. You literally just gave them a death sentence. You just literally killed them. In a full nutshell. It's that point. you know? So, and Lawrence kind of was trying to do that with me, okay, for like God knows 10 years. He went and told people, oh, you need to stop talking to him. He's crazy. He's nuts. He's this, that, and this. And 90% of these people were my emotional support going through my PTSD, helping me get through it, helping me be able to cope with it all. He literally went out of his way to take my emotional support and just fucking flush it down the fucking toilet. So now my mental health has went from getting better to getting worse. You don't ever tell people in somebody's life suffering from any mental health disorders of any kind to stop talking to them, to disassociate with them, because they actually need those people to actually get better. Putting them in the hospital without that emotional support from their loved ones that you just done chased out of their life and convinced to have nothing to do with them, no matter how many times you put them in the hospital, they're never going to get better. They're never going to get better. They're just going to keep getting worse. They're going to keep getting worse, and worse. And next thing you know, boom, they're blowing their fucking brains out because there was no one there to stop them. There was no one there to stop them from killing themselves. Okay? So let's put that into fucking straight up perspective. And I'm going to flat out tell you, to do that with somebody suffering from any, and I mean any and every single mental health disability or disorder of any kind that causes them to go see a psychiatrist, be put on medications for mental health. Any kind of Seroquel, schizophrenia meds like antipsychotics, anxiety. Everybody that goes to a psychiatrical doctor, they don't need only that doctor. They need their family, their friends in their life. That's the main part of them getting better. That is the backbone of them getting better. The psychiatrist is not the backbone. When you have somebody suffering from mental health disorders such as schizophrenia, PTSD, any of that, that they're going through emotional compromising. They're high 1 minute. I mean, they're on the top of the fucking world 1 minute, and then like 2 seconds later, they're at the lowest of the low. And that's bipolar disorder. And yeah, them seeing only the psychiatrist is not the best program for their mental health. Ever. Taking away their friends and family and people they've known for their entire life and trying to go out of your way to convince them people to disassociate with them is wrong. It is fucking wrong. Because they actually need them people. Because those people you're chasing out of their life, you're telling to disassociate with that person because of his mental health status, he's never going to get better. He's going to continue to get worse. And now you got a downward spiral of his mental health status going down, and never coming back up. Ever. Never getting better. Ever. Getting worse. That's all he's going to do. Get worse. Get worse. And worse. And worse. And before you know it, he's finding somebody that he just met that has a firearm. And when that person's not paying attention, game over. He is no longer coming back. He is gone forever. He is dead. There is no bringing him back. There is nothing you did of any good telling the people in his life to disassociate with him, you just doomed him and gave him a death sentence by his own fucking hand by doing that. So if you're dealing with somebody with mental health disorders in any kind, and the worst thing you could do to that person is convince everybody in his life to disassociate with them. You just gave that person a death sentence by his own hand. Literally. Because that psychiatrist is not the fucking backbone to his mental health. His family, his friends, those close to him, those he loves are the backbone. Without them in his life, you gave him a death sentence the minute you convinced him not to have anything to do with him. Okay? Let's put that into perspective. So, why were you guys listening to Lawrence Conner? With me? Who had literally went out of his way to get me on schizophrenic medicines that literally made my depression go critical. No, when I got off the antipsychotics for 3 years, I checked myself into a psychiatrical hospital maybe once or twice within that 3 years. Okay, and eventually never went there again. When I went to those psychiatrical facilities, when I first got off the antipsychotics and did everything I could to stay off of them, it was the antipsychotics that was still in my system trying to run its course and run out of my system is why I was still going, because there were still remnants of that medication that was causing, and I mean literally causing critical depression. That's why at the tail end, at the beginning of the 3 years of being off of them, I popped in maybe once or twice, and then after, maybe third time, possibly, never did again. Because the medications was causing it. The medications were causing it. It was actually having the opposite effect. This is what happens with a wrongful diagnosis. And psychiatrical medicines are prescribed. When the patient never gets better from the medication you put your patient on as a psychiatrist, he shows no signs of getting better. None. He's only showing signs of getting worse. And he's popping into hospitals more frequent. That is the first sign of a wrongful diagnosis right then and there. Okay? Because the medications of them constantly taking, especially if they're getting it in their arm with a syringe. And when that happens with their medications, that is what is called long-acting, which means they don't need to take pills. They go get a shot once a fucking month, and that lasts the entire fucking month. And if they're on a long-acting shot like that, and they're still frequently going to psychiatrical hospitals, like 3 times a fucking month, that's a wrongful diagnosis. That's the wrong medications for their mental health. Because you wouldn't change their biology in their brain. You turn whatever was ailing them from getting better to actually getting worse. You turn them critical with their mental health. You literally turned that mental health they were actually going through critical. You actually did the opposite of helping them. You actually did damage to their mental health. You didn't help them. You damaged them. You fucking ruined them ever getting better until they get the correct fucking diagnosis and on the correct medications and wean off. Before they get on the correct medications, actually wean off. Like, get that the wrong medications out of their system. And however long it takes, and literally flush that out of their system before you can put them on the right medications. Because if you fucking cross-contaminate those medications, you're going to damage them more. What I mean by cross-contamination, when you're a cook at a restaurant, you don't take old food, right, and put it with new food. It's cross-contaminating. In other words, you don't take cooked chicken, right, that was raw, uncooked chicken, cook it in a frying pan, right? This is cross-contamination right here. You don't take uncooked chicken, which can give you salmonella poisoning if it's not cooked fully. You don't cook that chicken in that frying pan. Get it all cooked, pull it out, and then go reheat the old chicken to reserve that in the frying pan. You just cook that raw chicken in. Because that uncooked chicken that originally cooked in that frying pan, the remnants of salmonella is still in the bottom of the pan. So now when you take that old chicken that you're just reheating up for a few seconds and put it in that pan, you took the salmonella virus from the raw chicken you just cooked, and you just went and put it to the reheated chicken that you already pre-cooked. And now you got food poisoning because you cross-contaminated. And that's the concept with psychiatrical medications. Now, let me tell you something about psychiatric and your body. The one part of your body that takes the longest out of your entire body is not your arms, not your bones. That takes the longest to heal. It's not your bones. It's not your skin cells. It's not a scab on your face or a cut on your face. It's your brain. When your brain is hurt, it takes longer to heal than my boxer fracture. My boxer fracture, when I broke my hand and got a boxer fracture, it took a month and a half, full heal. Okay? That broken bone, for me to be able to use this hand, take the bandage off. Now, a damaged brain, okay, you got some form of brain damage or something, you know, you had a bad accident, you suffer from a concussion, and your skull is pinching part of your brain, and it's causing you to have massive headaches, and it's causing you a lot of shit. Now, when that concussion subsides and they get rid of, you know, where it's not pinched anymore, it takes anywhere from 3 to 6 months or more, possibly even a year, for that concussion to actually heal properly, because it's your brain. Your brain takes the longest to heal. So when you're dealing with somebody that has amnesia, okay, and you're expecting them to remember, it's been a month, and you still don't. And you're yelling at them because it's been a month, and they're not remembering shit. Guess what? You didn't help them. You hurt them. You hurt them. You didn't help them. You hurt them. So if they got short-term memory loss, because of amnesia, something that caused them to have amnesia, now from that amnesia they got short-term memory loss, and they're forgetting small shit, and you say, it's been a month, it should. No, you dumb fuck. Don't fucking force healing of the brain Their brain is not going to heal within a month. It's not going to heal within 2 months. It's not going to heal in 3 months. It's not going to heal in 5. Okay? Let's just put it that way. It's not going to heal in 5 fucking months. It's going to take 5 years to fully heal. Unlike your bone and your skin cells and certain parts of your body, yeah, other than your brain, will take a month or 5 months. While your brain, okay, the difference between the brain and the rest of your body, what takes the rest of your body a month to 2 months, it's not a month for your brain. What takes a month to heal your broken leg takes a year to fix your broken brain. So what would take a month to fix your broken leg is a year to fix your broken brain. So you sitting there trying to rush the healing process of somebody with amnesia or short-term memory loss from amnesia of any kind, okay? And you're thinking, oh, it's been a month. It should have. No, it's not. It's never in a million years going to be corrected in a month. Because you're literally taking their brain, okay? Their brain. Rome wasn't built in a day. It was built in a week, okay? And their brain is Rome. And you thinking it's going to take them a month for their brain to heal, okay? Really? It is not. It's going to take 7 years. Not 1 month. Because the brain takes longer to heal. The medical doctor reason why your brain takes longer to heal. The rest of your body runs off of nerve endings throughout your entire body. You have your sensory nerves in your bone. You have your sensory nerves in your skin. You have sensory nerves throughout your entire body. Your brain don't have sensory nerves. It has neurons that produce chemicals in your brain. And these psychiatrical medicines are supposed to correct the chemical balancements in your brain. And nerve endings, they heal within a month. Neurons take a year. Get what I'm saying? Because neurons create the chemicals from the signal that your nerve endings are sending to your neurons in your brain. And if you sit there and think someone with amnesia is going to take a month to start remembering, fuck. You're a piece of fucking shit. And if you sit there and scream at him, yell at him, chew him out, you're a fucking self-centered, inconsiderate, heartless piece of fucking shit. Coming from me, a former licensed psychiatrist and medical doctor. Because your nerve endings is what's sending signals to your neurons within your brain to create the chemicals that allowed you to remember what you need to remember when you need to remember it. That's why your brain, what takes your body that functions off of nerve endings a month, takes your brain, which runs off neurons, a fucking year. All right? Damaged neurons take longer than damaged nerve endings. A damaged nerve ending will heal itself in a month, while a damaged neuron could take a year to 2 years to 3 years to 4 years. All right? Just like how badly your leg got broken and damaged all the nerve endings. It could take 1 month, 2 months, 3 months to 4 months. So amplify it when it comes to your neurons in your brain and take it from a month to a year. And if you think you know something about the medical field and never, ever in a million years went and spent 5, 10 years in college learning the medical field of psychology and medical doctor like I did as a Navy SEAL, all right? I have a high IQ, so I literally learned really fast because when I was in Navy college, I was hands-on, and I learned faster hands-on than I do reading it. When I get into the nitty-gritty, I'm learning hands-on. I'm not learning by reading textbooks. I'm learning hands-on. I'm actually learning by example of how it's correctly done and how it's incorrectly done by being hands-on, okay? Surgeons, I mean medical fucking surgeons, they practice on cadavers, dead bodies that were donated to surgical school before they ever practice on somebody that's living. And they practice for damn near fucking 4 years. While medical doctors, that are capable of assessing your ailments, like the sickness, like you got a common cold. Yeah, you can learn that in like a year or two, okay? Psychology, pretty much almost the same thing. Surgeons, I mean, medical doctor surgeons that are like performing surgeries. Yeah, that course is like fucking 4 to 8 year course. While medical doctor, you can do it in 3 and 4, 2 and 3 years. And be able to pass the bar exam easily. Because you're not cutting your patient. You're only prescribing medications like painkillers or all that. You're actually learning the dose radius of their weight, their height and weight. So when you're prescribing medications as a medical doctor, you are not going by the ailments and the symptoms of how powerful a dose is going to be. You're actually prescribing specifically to their height and weight, not their symptoms, their height and weight. So if you go give a child a dose that was meant for my height and weight, like a 4-year-old child, the dose of a medication of a painkiller, my height and weight, that child's going to overdose. That child's going to start having seizures, foaming at the mouth. He's going to be wanting to swallow his tongue. His body's just going to go into shock. And he's going to die. Because you gave somebody smaller a dose for somebody larger. You don't ever do that. So when you're going into the milligrams and you're dealing with milligrams, you're dealing with the height and weight. You can't deal with the ailments. It's actually measured by the height and weight of your patient every day of the week. So, crash course in medical field and psychology right there on the truth. Where you dumb fucks that followed Lawrence Connor and you dumb fucks trying to rationalize everything I've ever said of 90% bullshit. I overdosed of myself for like the past 10 years. Up until these past 3 years, I have been coming out with the real truth. With the 9% truth. With that 1% bullshit that just kept leading you right back to the 90% bullshit. And making that more believable than the 9% truth I was giving you. For like 3 years shy of the 10-year conflict with Connor. You are a dumb fuck. Because now I am breaking down the actual truth. Now that this conflict is over and Connor cannot say anything about me right now. He's not allowed to post about anybody. He's under court order. He's got like 3 months to fucking get a job or he's doing 25 years to life. Let's make that evidently clear. What you think you know, you do not. And if you think, oh, I'm going to look at this website and I'm going to look at this YouTube video, I'm going to look this up on Google. I'm showing you exactly the difference between a library with my tool leader right here. Okay? And I want you to watch closely. What's in my tool leader, which is pop, cola. Okay? Here is what you get of knowledge from the internet, looking at websites that speak about knowledge of things, and Google giving you knowledge of it, and Siri. This is that knowledge, okay, from the internet of what you're actually learning. Now, you really want to see the actual knowledge of where to learn from the libraries. The difference, that little top of the bottle cap that you go into Siri and Instagram and all these websites on it. Okay, that bottle cap is all you're getting of that knowledge from the internet. Here's your library and museums. Know the difference of how to be smart. The reason why this is marketing. Do you go to your drug dealer and go get a free taste of the drug of your choosing? Like a little bitty taste, just enough to get you to want more and think you're going to go back and get the whole pound of it for free? Really? Really? If you actually believe that, you're doomed. You are so fucking doomed. So keep that in mind when you go and Google shit. You're not getting all the facts. You're only getting of all the facts of that knowledge of dealing with it. Right there. That's all you're getting from the internet, from websites, Siri, Google, YouTube. Book, textbook, museum. Any questions? So, with that being said, why are you turning to your smartphones? Get off the couch. Don't go to the internet to think. You're going to get smarter. Because, like I said, not the information drug, information of the people that make this information and give you this information. They give you the taste that hooks you on the internet. And you're not going to get more for free. Because what you get for free on the internet, that's just what gets you hooked. You got to go to these museums and these libraries and these colleges and these schools to learn it and pay for it. Because when you get that one hit, you're definitely not getting the full pound of that drug for free, because you got a hit for free. Thank you. Have a nice fucking day.